problem solving, things I'm seeing. Be careful, you know, we've talked about this, and this is one I just had happen. If you have an object that's released at some height above the ground, the time, and if you're looking for things like, you know, the time or its displacement or whatever, remember that its overall displacement, because displacement is not the distance it traveled, it's the difference between its start and end point, is just the negative of how high it was released. So things to keep in mind. I think you guys are all getting that, you know, VF at top of flight is 0, and therefore VF, if we're looking at the down leg, is also 0. Those are useful endpoints to plug in because it's a known point. That's something we exploit a lot in Chapter 3. Other things, that substitution garbage, that substitution nonsense that I keep pushing, it's a good skill to build because while there are many of these problems that you can solve multiple ways now, in Chapter 3 you can't. You must substitute. There is no other way around it. And so we end up doing these lengthy solve and substitutes. It's very much an Algebra 2 skill, and it's a good skill builder. So, you know, on things like this where you have a VI, you have acceleration, you have delta y, and you're looking for delta t, because you're looking for delta t, if VI is non-zero, you can't use, without using the quadratic, you can't use delta y equals VI delta t plus 1/2 a delta t squared. It doesn't work. It works under two circumstances. If VI is 0 and you get rid of one of your delta t's, if delta y is 0, if something's leaving the ground and coming back to the ground, you can do some mathematical algebraic sleight of hand and factor out a delta t. But other than that, it doesn't work, so you have to get good at the substitutions. And the substitution that I keep doing with this one, I'm going to try to get that shrunk. You know, knowing that we have VIA, delta y, delta f, well, if only we had VF. We don't, but we can create an expression for VF that uses everything that we do have, 2a delta y. And then if we want to use delta x equals 1/2 VI plus VF delta t, we can plug this back in for VF. We can solve for delta t. And it seems like the long way to go, but it's really an essential skill. Getting used to doing that substitution thing, getting used to using 2 equations instead of 1. It's a skill builder thing. It's kind of like early in chemistry when I'm preaching the gospel of factor label, saying, no, you do have to get good at the system. Yeah, you do have to get good at using the exponents, because we're going to do nothing but that for half the year. So it's the same thing. It's one of those skill building things, getting used to doing those substitutions. Yes, I know you could solve for VF. I know. But get used to doing those substitutions. You can still solve for VF on your calculator and jot it down on the side. That's fine. But getting used to doing the substitutions is critical. So, what are other? Is anybody hitting any problems? Things you're getting stuck on? 5B. You have 5B. Okay, and actually 5B is one that is this exact solve chord for any of this. So you've got your variables listed. I would love to use the delta y equals VI delta t, but I can't because it's quadratic. And, well, you can, but I'm just not willing to. So if I'm going to use this equation, which does tie together, ties together delta y, delta t, and VI, it doesn't tie in my acceleration, and we don't have VF. But I can do this, which would get me my acceleration. I have delta y, I have VI, so I can do a solve, square root of VI squared plus 2a delta y. I can then take this whole mess, shove it sideways into there, and then I've got it. Now the thing to be careful about, this is VF, and we're talking about an object that went up and is now falling towards the Earth. Remember that anytime you have that, it's plus or minus. What's it going to be? It's going to be negative. Yeah, it's going to be a negative velocity because it's heading towards the Earth. Oh, I'm sorry. That's right in the way, isn't it? How about we do that? Okay. Anything else that people are getting consistently? What are points that keep getting stuck? So the 5, no, good gosh, no. 2F, this is 2F worksheet is odds.